The air was thick with expectation. The hallowed halls of the Washington National Cathedral echoed with the murmurs of the powerful and the pious. It was January 21st, 2025, the day after former President Donald Trump's inauguration for a second, non-consecutive term. Bishop Mariann Budde, the first female bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Washington, approached the pulpit. She looked out at the assembled crowd, a sea of faces that represented the very soul of America. Among them sat the newly sworn-in President Trump, his face etched with a familiar seriousness. Her sermon began with a message of unity and hope, a call for Americans to come together after a divisive election. But as she continued, her tone shifted, speaking of the marginalized and the forgotten. "We pray for those living in fear," she intoned, her voice echoing through the cathedral. "For LGBTQ children, for families torn apart by deportation, for immigrants who toil in the shadows." Bishop Budde's words struck a nerve. Her call for compassion, particularly for LGBTQ children and undocumented immigrants, ignited a firestorm of controversy. Conservative commentators and religious leaders erupted in outrage, accusing her of hijacking a sacred event to advance a radical leftist agenda. Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, took to Twitter, his words dripping with venom. Bishop Budde's sermon was a disgrace, he thundered, a blatant attempt to politicize a solemn occasion and attack President Trump. Catholic Vote, a conservative Catholic advocacy group, issued a scathing statement, accusing Budde of using the pulpit to sow discord and division. Her words were a slap in the face to millions of Americans who believe in the sanctity of life and the rule of law, the statement read. Even some within the religious community expressed their disapproval, arguing that while compassion was important, it should not come at the expense of truth. As the controversy raged, all eyes turned to the Oval Office, waiting for President Trump's response. He did not disappoint. True to form, he took to his favorite platform, Truth Social, to unleash a torrent of fury. "Just witnessed the most boring and uninspiring national prayer service in history," he fumed. "And that sermon, a total disaster! This Budde woman is a real piece of work, a radical left, Trump-hating lunatic." Trump's Digital Diatribe did little to quell the controversy, further inflaming tensions and deepening the divide. His supporters rallied to his defense, praising his willingness to speak truth to power and denouncing Budde as a left-wing hack. The controversy sparked by Bishop Budde's sermon transcended the walls of the National Cathedral. It laid bare the deep divisions that plagued American society, divisions that ran along lines of faith, politics, and ideology. In the aftermath of the sermon, news channels were dominated by talking heads, each side retreating further into their respective echo chambers. Social media became a battleground with hashtags like #BuddeForPresident and #TrumpIsRight trending alongside each other. Bishop Budde, for her part, refused to back down. In an interview with CNN, she defended her sermon, arguing that she had a moral obligation to speak truth to power. "My words were not meant to be divisive," she explained, "but to remind us of our shared humanity." The National Prayer Service, once a symbol of unity, had become a stark reminder of just how divided America had become.